Hello, everyone. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants. I'm here with Sandy Kreisberg for Fridays with Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, everybody. Happy last day of Hanukkah.
And we have a great candidate from Mexico, Eduardo, who is an internal consultant for Mastercard. He's been there since 2018 and has had a promotion already. And he is aiming to go to Wharton, Columbia, Chicago Booth, HEC Paris are his target schools. His GMAT score is a 710. He had a 3.4 undergraduate GPA, which put him in the top 20% of his class.
Where, John? At ETAM.
Yeah, ITAM, and which is a very well-known and high status school in Mexico. And his major was, I don't know how you got through this, actuarial science, especially as a piano player. He plays classical and everything else on the piano. He's been playing for over 13 years, and yet he endured actuarial science. That's got to count for something, Sandy.
I'm impressed since I'm not good at either one. I'm neither a poet nor a quant. Yeah, this guy is a poet and a quant, boy. A pianist and a quant. I'm impressed. Okay, this is a very powerful story. John, what do you think about applying for a Mastercard?
So I actually think on some level that's an advantage. I don't think there are that many people in the elite applicant pools from Mastercard, and there are fewer of them even from Mexico. So I think
so Mastercard in Mexico is good. How many people do you think at HBS have Mexican passports?
Okay, I know you know the answer because I know you looked it up. I'm going to guess it's no more than 15.
Yeah, it varies, but 15 is it runs from 12, 13, 15, 17.
Hey, that's not bad for a guess.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot higher from Canada, in case anyone is interested in how neighboring countries.
Plus, Eduardo has some good international experience, having done projects in Haiti, Nicaragua, and Spain, which adds to his appeal as well to his school.
Look, we got here as a real strong candidate. Mexico is good. He went to ETAM, which is the leading school. He said he's got top 20%. He's got a 710 GMAT. John, what should he do with that?
I might advise him to retake it because, after all, it's below the class average at Wharton, at Columbia, and at Chicago Booth.
Yeah, this is right on the bubble. You've got a lot to like, and they'll let you, they'll wink at the 710, but I don't know. How many times have you taken it, Eduardo?
I took it 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I managed to improve from the first to the second one.
That's a tough call. If you're a real tiger cub, I'd think about taking it again. It's the best thing you could do.
Well, if Wharton is your first choice school, GMATs really matter to Wharton. I mean, I don't think you really, it bothers me that we have to tell you that if you really want Wharton, you should get another 20 points on your GMAT. It bothers me because
I agree. Bothers everybody except Wharton.
Because I think
that's just a thought, man. That's just a thought. You've got a lot going for you. They love piano players. Mexico is a plus, and Mastercard is a plus. Now, you said Mastercard. What do you do at Mastercard, Eduardo? What's your division and what do you do?
Well, I'm in Mastercard Data and Services, specifically in the advisors team. And what we do there is to work with our partners, mainly financial institutions, banks, even merchants, or even the government. And we do some consulting projects with them focused on.
Of course, Mastercard does that. What do you do?
I work specifically in projects. Right now.
Your resume says strategy consulting area. So name your 3 top strategy projects?
Well, one of them was focused in going to revamping the value proposition of a loyalty program.
I didn't quite understand that. What was that?
We are trying to like improve the image that people has of a specific loyalty program of one of the largest banks.
Oh yeah, loyalty programs. That's everything. Credit cards are all now about loyalty programs.
Yeah, it's a very important part of them.
Yeah.
They
So
have trouble getting loyalty from you, Sandy, because you're so promiscuous with your credit cards.
I just use one, and I'm glad they accept it. I'm glad when it gets approved. Okay, so if you were being interviewed and they say, what projects have you worked on? You go, well, I did a big loyalty project, and then I would take it from there. Okay.
Okay.
In more detail?
Yeah, exactly. But you need a headline.
Is this the headline first?
Yeah, when people say, what did you do? You say, well, I've worked on an important loyalty project. That's a perfect answer, rather than getting mixed up in the answer you gave, which quite frankly was incomprehensible and could have been, no, I'm not kidding, buddy, could have been an interview, could have been very, very damaging, if not a showstopper.
Okay.
In the wrong way.
So it's always a funny thing. You want to get into the detail, but you don't want to get too deeply into the detail to lose people.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, right.
That's why I wondered if the first sentence should be, what I am as an internal consultant is a problem solver and an opportunity seeker for Mastercard.
You're going to give that in an interview, John?
Yeah, a good example is
you're going to say that. No, let me back up. You were going to say that in an interview?
Yeah, is that good?
No, that's bad. You would no, I'm not joking, man. That would be damaging. They would have you as the S word. Do you know what that means?
No. What's that mean?
Of course you mean. Of course you do. And it's not an obscenity.
Oh, you mean a BSer?
Scripted.
Oh, scripted. Yeah.
Okay. Kiss of death in an interview, everybody. This is the prime advice from the beloved D. Leopold, who we will, you can look her up.
Yes.
Do not be scripted, be conversational. So you have to be able to explain what you do in an interview in a conversational way. Okay, we'll do this, we'll turn this into a sort of mock interview. Hey, hello there, how are you? Boy, this is great. Mastercard, what do you do for them?
Yeah, I work in consulting projects. One of my last experience is a loyalty related project where we wanted to improve the image that people have from that specific loyalty program for a bank in Mexico. I've also worked in a project in Haiti where we worked along with a fintech to figure out how they would partner with Mastercard. And I have also worked in some other retail banking, like consumer banking projects in the past.
Very good. That's a very, very good answer. In reality, they'll interrupt you, but you got off on the right foot and you could follow up on it. You just turned your interview around from a damaging to very positive.
I also like how he immediately brought in his international experience.
Good, right. Okay, John, here's a question for you. Can this guy get into Harvard?
I think Eduardo has a shot at Harvard.
So do I, man.
Because I think that he's got a really nice profile. The other things we haven't mentioned to our audience is, things that I think admissions officers like. The fact that he leads the onboarding and training for all new hires.
Yeah, that is so critical. And that's also, okay, that's important. And there's another important gem in the materials you sent to us. What are your goals, Eduardo?
Yeah, after pursuing the MBA, I want to come back to Mastercard and to get like specialized in financial inclusion subjects to really be able to in the future make an impact on a country that is very in the early stages of that, such as my homeland Mexico, and to be able to bring some part of the change in that and bring solutions to people that currently don't have it. Yeah,
what you want to do is bank the unbanked and then give them credit cards. And that's the way you should say it. I'm interested in giving responsible credit to people who don't have access to it. And that in Mexico and other developing countries, that's there's a real need for that.
Use that adjective, responsible.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Credit card companies have a reputation of being predatory, which means evil and taking advantage of undereducated poor people and giving them too much credit. Yeah. So
how does Eduardo take advantage of his story? How does he tell his story in a way in the application and essays that makes him really stand out? Or just being from Mexico and Mastercard and doing international projects is enough?
The Harvard essay is real simple. It says, what else do you want us to know about you? And the answer is always the same answer. I want you to know how experiences 1, 2, and 3 have influenced my goals to become a leader in offering financial services to underserved people. And then what you have to do is come up with experiences, whatever they are. Was there a family experience that led to that? Or your parents, well, what do your parents do, Eduardo?
Well, my father has been in banking for many years, but more in a treasury side. And I think this engagement.
Yeah, my parents introduced me to financial services. My father was a banker, and we often talked about. He often said that he only served 5% of the population in Mexico, and so that was an early influence. And then you just come up with 4 more, and that's all Eduardo wrote, and it's enough.
Yeah.
Some of those experiences should be experiences you've had at Mexico, where at Mastercard, where you had disagreements with the powers that be at Mastercard. You were in favor of expanding access, and they said, no, we've got formulas, and we're not going to do that because these poor suckers don't meet our formulas in terms of net worth, or they don't own a house or whatever.
No, I think it's the other way around, and that also helped that engagement, because one of the main pillars of the philosophy of Mastercard is to bring an inclusive perspective on finance and on bank products for people. So that also was very
okay. Good. Then you want to expand that You want to expand that notion.
Yes.
You're very excited about that. You've seen the possibilities of what it could do, and you want to expand on that. Name someone whose job you want. Always a good question.
Well,
in 20 years, 30 years.
I think that the greatest example for that is maybe AJ Banga, former CEO from Mastercard, and who's really driving this philosophy.
So he's a hero. You can even put that in your application. You go, a hero of mine is whatever that guy's name is at Mastercard, who's doing a terrific job. Who's more pro people, Mastercard or the other company?
Well, at least I can say that for Mastercard, yeah, it's quite very people focused. So I would
what
say
about
that
Visa? Are they the tough guys, or are they about the same?
Not really the top guys. I think that given the industry that we are playing, it's like more like a team play. There's always competition, but
that's called a monopoly. So watch it.
Yeah, yeah, but solutions that they bring to the table also help us, and vice versa.
Yeah, good. So, boy, you got a lot going for you. I think you should apply to Harvard.
And you still think he should take the GMAT again, or you think he's okay?
How much difference do you think John, how much difference do you think 730 would make at Wharton and Harvard?
I think it might make more of a difference at Wharton than it would make at Harvard. I don't think Harvard will care that much.
Either way, how much difference would it make?
I think it's a neutral thing at Harvard. I'll go back to what your favorite person, D. Leopold, said. If there's a 7 in front of it, I don't care about your GMAT score.
Yeah, well, I love D. Leopold, but how true do you think that is?
Well, I mean, since she said that, GMAT scores have been inflated across the board. But I think at Harvard, it's still true. They're
I
not,
think at Harvard, they're
not-
more likely to wink. I think that's what she meant.
they're not hung up on it.
Yeah, I think what she meant to say is, as long as you've got a 7 and you're otherwise interesting, we'll wink.
Yeah. I mean, on one level, you could say, you know, the GPA is below the class average, the GMAT's below the class average. So where does that put him in the terms of competition in the applicant pool?
It puts him as an applicant who is very likely to become a really impactful leader in Mexico and Latin America.
That's
And
true.
that ain't just whistling Dixie. He's doing it now. He's lined up to doing it. He's working at a major player. So you got a lot going for you, even if you didn't know it.
Before he does his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So so then you spend, whatever, go to get an MBA. Then what job would you have returning to Mastercard with an MBA?
I would be like the equivalent of an associate in any consulting firm. And from there, going to management positions and migrating to these more focused on financial inclusion roles.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So just lay that out in your story. You go, my story is, I want to be an impactful leader in banking and the credit card industry in Mexico and Latin America. And after my MBA, my plan is to return to Mastercard and do this and this.
So Sandy, Eduardo's odds at Harvard and Wharton, what are they?
I think with the proper, let me say something, man. With a 7, well, no, let's just deal with what we got. With a 710 GMAT and a proper execution along the lines we've been talking. Man, a guy like you from Mexico, where they're looking for people, particularly people who are not from consulting and finance, but from a blue chip company, your odds at Harvard could be like 30%. I think your odds of being interviewed would be like 40%, 45%. And then it's just a matter of not screwing up the interview.
And what about Wharton? 10.
Wharton is going to blink at this. Wharton's going to like this guy simply for the same reason Harvard will. There's a lot to like.
So his odds at Wharton will be slightly better than Harvard.
Yeah, just because of the selectivity. But I think his odds at Wharton are, 40%. Yeah.
At Columbia in Chicago, you put them closer to 50%?
Yeah, it's a question of convincing them that you want to go.
And then at HEC Paris, well over 50% acceptance likely.
Yeah, because I mean, that school is much less selective than the M7, ain't I right?
Yeah,
John.
Yeah. It's a pretty selective school in Europe, one of the most selective, but at the same time,
man, they would welcome a Francophile from Mexico. Are you kidding?
Oh, they'd love you. They eat you
from
up.
Mastercard.
Totally. Yeah. All right, Eduardo, good luck to you. You're going somewhere.
You're going places.
Andy's saying apply to Harvard. You got a good shot there. 35% at Harvard is like 3 times their overall acceptance rate.
Okay.
Hey, good luck to you. And to all of you out there, happy holidays.
Shalom.
This is John, Poets and Quants. Thanks for watching.